Welcome where curiosity becomes dangerous. For as long as we've existed, shadows have followed us. From the first humans tracking the sun across ancient deserts to modern cities casting endless silhouettes across skyscrapers, our shadows have been constant companions. Simple, predictable, comforting. We take them for granted. But what if one day, suddenly and without warning, the Earth lost them? No shadow, anywhere, for anyone. This is the story of the day physics broke, and humanity understood how fragile its reality truly is. This scenario is entirely fictional, a scientific thought experiment, but inspired by real physics, real astronomy, and real mysteries of light. Part 1. The First Strange Report. It started in a small desert research station where scientists noticed something wrong just after sunrise. One of them raised his hand, looked down, and froze. No shadow. He waved his arm. Nothing. His body didn't block the sunlight at all. Equipment failure, someone said. Optical distortion, another suggested. But then they looked outside. Every object, trucks, rocks, buildings, seemed to glow evenly on all sides. It was as if the light no longer came from a single direction, but from everywhere at once. Within minutes, more reports arrived from different parts of the world. Photographers noticed their subjects looked unnaturally flat. Security cameras recorded figures with no silhouettes. Street lamps cast no contrast on sidewalks. Trees stood like illustrations rather than physical objects. The world was losing depth. Part 2. Earth goes into panic mode. By mid-morning, news networks were broadcasting live images. Cities without shadows. People walking in perfectly uniform light. Monuments standing like digital renderings. At first, many believed it was an atmospheric phenomenon, a massive layer of haze diffusing sunlight perfectly. But meteorologists quickly ruled it out. The sky was clear. The sun was bright. And yet, nothing cast a shadow. Scientists pointed out something chilling. For shadows to disappear completely, sunlight must hit objects from every direction simultaneously. But how? The sun is a single light source. There was only one explanation, and it made no sense. Something had changed the way light behaved. Part 3. The impossible explanations. 3 main theories emerged. Theory 1. A solar event nobody predicted. Some astronomers believed the sun had undergone an unprecedented event. Not a flare, not a coronal mass ejection. Something stranger, a sudden expansion of the sun's photon emission pattern, light bending around Earth uniformly. But the sun cannot physically radiate light this way. It would require gravitational manipulation on a cosmic scale. Still, satellites detected a subtle anomaly. The solar corona briefly expanded and contracted at dawn, as if something had passed through it. Something invisible. Theory 2. A planet-sized lens between Earth and Sun. Another theory claimed a massive transparent object, like a gravitational lens, had aligned perfectly with the Sun. This would spread sunlight evenly across Earth. But the problem was size. To eliminate shadows globally, such an object would need to be larger than the Moon, closer than Venus, and perfectly aligned and completely invisible to telescopes. Astronomers found no such object, unless it wasn't physical but gravitational, a moving distortion in space-time. Theory 3. Light itself was being manipulated. The most controversial theory came from quantum physicists. Light was being flattened, not dimmed, not colored, but forced into a perfectly diffused state. The cause? Perhaps a massive cosmic wave, a change in the vacuum structure of space, or a rupture in the geometry of light propagation. In short, space itself might have changed its optical properties. This would affect shadows first, before affecting everything else. And that possibility terrified scientists. Part 4. How the world changed without shadows. The next 24 hours were the strangest in human history. Without shadows, objects looked flat, streets felt surreal. Distance was impossible to judge. Driving became dangerous. Birds flew erratically. Animals panicked. Plants showed signs of stress. Heat distribution changed across buildings. Humans rely on shadows to understand depth, navigate space-track movement, avoid obstacles, interpret emotions. Without them, the world felt like a giant, glowing simulation. Even human faces looked uncanny. No contours, no depth, no contrast. Only uniform brightness. Photographers called it the death of dimensionality. Part 5. The moment of realization. The breakthrough came at a mountaintop observatory, where a team of astronomers detected something almost unbelievable. Light wasn't just hitting Earth evenly. It was bending around objects, as if space had become a perfect light diffuser. Imagine holding a flashlight behind someone and still seeing their face illuminated from the front. This wasn't natural. Something, or some force, was reshaping the path of light. But then, one of the telescopes picked up a faint ripple near the sun. A distortion. A wave-like shimmer. Not a spacecraft. Not a planet. Not a comet. A geometric anomaly in space-time. Smooth. Perfect. Like a lens made of gravity itself. And it was moving. Part 6. The passage. At 1409 UTC, satellites detected an enormous gravitational wave passing between Earth and the Sun. It wasn't destructive. It wasn't energetic. It didn't affect electronics. It only affected light. For 6 minutes, Earth existed in perfect diffused illumination, a world without shadows. Then, the wave continued drifting. The moment it passed, shadows snapped back instantly. Not gradually, but like someone flipping a cosmic switch. Birds adjusted. People cheered. Phones buzzed with alerts. Traffic resumed. Life hesitated, but began to move again. The world inhaled collectively. And for the first time, scientists agreed Earth had experienced a once-in-a-civilization event. A gravitational phenomenon so large and smooth that it diffused all sunlight evenly. But what created it? A collapsed star? A wandering cosmic structure? A wave from a distant merger? Or something we weren't ready to understand? Part 7. What remains unknown. Even today, no one knows exactly what passed between us and the sun. Some believe it was the wake of two merging black holes, a rogue gravitational filamenta, cosmic wave traveling for millions of years, a curvature ripple from deep space. But a small group of physicists proposed something else, a structure so massive and perfectly shaped that it bent light intentionally, as if built by intelligence far older than us. Most scientists reject this theory, but they all agree on one thing. If that structure comes back, Earth will lose its shadow again. And perhaps that time, it won't leave so quickly. Epilogue. The memory of light. In the days that followed, people around the world described the same feeling. A sense that the universe had moved, shifted, revealed a part of itself we were never meant to see. Shadows returned. Life went on. But humanity looked at the sun differently. Because for one day, Earth stood in the center of a cosmic mystery. And the universe reminded us how fragile reality can be. Like, share, and subscribe, because light too can lie. And here, curiosity bends the rules.